Okay, Sandy.
All right, boys. We are live. Everybody, welcome to OG Bosses Alpha's vlog number 3. Our special guest today will be Pita and Snakeski from our red team. Pita is from our Valorant red team. Pita is the Sentinel, and Snake is the shot caller or the IGL slash smoke player. Welcome. And going to that, how y'all doing today, boys?
I think I'm doing fine personally.
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Hold on. I'm doing great. For some reason, hold on. What just happened?
You lost both, Ark.
Yeah.
There we go.
But is it fucked up now? What the hell happened, bro?
I don't know. You had it for a second there.
Oh,
Technical difficulty, boys. Bear with us for one moment.
dude, why did it do that? Oh my god.
While Silk is working on this, I have some questions here for Pita, because we know we got them scrims later on today. Can't hold them for too long, guys. With that being said, you guys just changed over the lineup, right? Walk us through what happened. Walk us through the players that left, the players you guys brought in.
So I think we wanted to build a team around people who are committed to going top tier professional, tier 1, and going higher in the scene.
Yep.
So the people who weren't committed, they either left or we told them straight up. And we brought in some new guys, and the new guys are 100% committed and they want to go up to that T1 level. And I think that's what we're going to work towards, is playing a lot with these guys and just making it up there as a T1 professional top tier team.
So who are the players that left? Who did we lose off of the red team?
We lost Kiltery and Zoro.
And then we replaced him with who? So Kilt was obviously the Sova player before. Who did we swap him out with?
We replaced him with Tony, so he's a new Sova main we brought in. His lineups are really insane. Personally, I've never seen some of them, but...
Do you agree with this, Pita? Or is he just talking smoke here?
No, I totally agree. We hit a gold mine with Tony. And then the other guy we brought in to replace Zoro. So unfortunately, Zoro, I think he's dealing with some like personal stuff, so he stepped away from the team. So we brought in a guy named Witch, who we are familiar with in the past. The team has played against him in tournaments. Great guy, very committed, insane duelist. We're very glad to have him.
Yeah, didn't you say you guys played him in the First Strike match? Like he was on the opposite team, your first match at First Strike?
Yeah, the first game we won, he was on the opposite team, and he was dropping constant 26s, and he was really the force on the other team to go against. So to have him, as soon as I asked for players to hit my DMs and, who want to try out, he was like the first one in there. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? Did a little back search on him, and we played him in VC or in First Strike, and it's honestly a really good pickup.
Yeah. I'm excited for both of this. So what tournaments do you guys got coming up? Anything around the corner that we should keep an eye out for?
So we have VCS, which is tomorrow, and we have a couple MGA tournaments down the road, which is like a couple days or 7 days away. And then I think Pita has a couple tournaments as well, probably 1 or 2.
Awesome.
Yeah, towards the end of March, looking for.
Yeah, I love it. So as those tournaments come up, be sure to definitely pass it around to myself, Venom, whoever you need to pass it up the line to, so we can make sure we promote that for you guys as well too. Because obviously we do a lot of posting about all of our teams, and it's all about who's playing, who's on camera, who's not on camera, so on and so forth. So as Red Team begins to progress, we want to make sure that we show you guys as well as all of our teams. So be sure to make sure you guys pass that along to them.
Yeah, we certainly will.
Yes, sir.
So looks like Silk's just about got this finished up here of the technical difficulties. I apologize, guys. Unless Silk and or Infinity here have any questions at all for the boys, we're going to let them go because they got a scrim coming up, so we don't want to hold them for too long.
How you guys feel like this team's going to be, like, in your opinion, man? Like, I kind of answered it a little bit, but I'm kind of curious because I'm having new roster changes go on within my teams right now as well, and the way it's looking, it's coming a lot better for them. So I'm just saying, in your perspective, what do you think it's going to be like for you?
Can I have this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm full confidence in this roster. I've I've had my doubts previously about other rosters just because like commitment issues or like their mindset, like how far they really wanted to go. This roster, we've talked to everyone personally about it. Like we all want the same thing. We all have the same goal-driven mindset, and we want to hit the top, right? So this roster, I feel really good about, and I hope your rosters are the same. I hope they're ready for a lot of success.
I'm hoping so too. I'm hoping so too. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Go ahead, Silk.
No. I mean, I'm just excited to see where they go. I mean, I've been kind of watching Snake since the beginning of all this, and it's an enjoyment watching him kind of build a team around him instead of being on a team where he's kind of foreshadowed by all the other players. It's a lot more fun to me. But,
Yeah, I like it. So thank you again, Snake and Pita. We're going to let you guys get out of here so you guys can go hit up your guys' scrim. Don't keep the other too long. Good luck to you guys. We'll bring you guys back on in a later time where we can talk a little bit longer with you the next time around.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys.
Thank you all for showing up, boys. Okay, so after that, we're going to go into Hysteria's going to talk about the rest of Valorant in general.
Yeah, so obviously you guys heard a little bit about Red Team there. Big thing is Red Team obviously swapped over its lineup. They're really competing, I think, for the first time in the tournament tomorrow as a full 5-stack. They've done a couple of scrims, but this will be the first tournament, so we'll have to wait and see on them. Obviously, after that, Black Team also competed in the Rumble tournament today. Unfortunately, we got knocked out in the final 4. We had a real tough game against Inch. What was the full name of it there? It was a weird name. Yeah, something like that. It was a very kind of weird name. You could tell, it may not have been another organization, but potentially a team that's been around for a little while. To get top 4, we had a chance at, really competing and, finally breaking through, winning that first full-fledged T2 tournament for us. There was a lot of good teams there. They had Zoomer Academy, Noble, a couple of just those other teams out there. Yeah, most of them ranked in the top 100. So it was exciting to see them get back to a winning culture on that side of things. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Who made it to the finals of that were Noble, which is a pretty good organization, and Ichbon, which is a team that beat us. But I think we were playing with the sub, right?
You're muted, Hysteria.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Sorry, I was trying to type something out on my computer to get the full lineup here for us, so that way I could have maybe pulled it up. But particularly what happened is, unfortunately, Dan is currently taking some time away. We don't know what's going on yet, but he, unfortunately has missed a couple practices, so we just, we're letting that go. We wish him nothing but the best. Hopefully everything's okay. But ultimately, they had to play with a sub today because of that. Venom filled in, I believe, for one of the games in group stage there. Then afterwards, it was a sub that we brought in. I believe it was one of Pablo's friends, just somebody who could fill in that smoke and roll for us. So to be down our IGL, still make it to Final 4, we really built, the structure that we want on this team. And I think it's just a true testament to the, not Dan being gone, but the 4 people that were there still being committed, still trying to get to that next level. Because there were some good teams in there. Like I said, Zoomer Academy was in there. Zoomer Academy, I ranked in the top 60 in the world. Noble was in there. They made it all the way to the finals. Noble's in the top, I believe, 50 in the world. So there's a couple really good teams that were in there that, we were excited to play against. Fortunately, like I said, didn't quite come away with the win. But when you're down your IGL, that's a tough task. So.
Oh yeah, definitely, bro, definitely. Let's see, so let's talk about kind of what's going on tomorrow with both teams. I know we do it every Sunday, but
yep. So just like every Sunday, they compete in the Vanguard Championship Series or the VCS. That starts at 3:00 and goes through a group stage, best of 1. Then if you win your group stage, top 2 teams from there go into the playoffs. You have 3 other team groups, so groups of 4. Best 2 teams make it out. Then after that, that's the round of 4, and from there on all the way until the final. It is a true best of 1. Win, you move on. You lose, you're knocked out. Just like in the NFL, anyone can win on any week. Team's got to be ready every single game because it doesn't matter what you did the game before. If you're playing poorly in that game, you get knocked out and you're going to home. So we're excited for both teams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have anything else to kind of add to the Valorant side of things?
No, as of right now, that's all we got. Again, I hope everything is okay with Dan from his side of things. Don't know what's going on, but obviously we hope that everything's good for him, and we'll see him back on the team shortly here.
Oh, definitely, man, definitely. It's hard to kind of have that your IGL being gone. So we're gonna go to Infinity now. He's gonna give y'all some COD updates on the Onslaught COD side of things.
Yeah. All in all, I'm gonna be honest with you, and with everybody watching, our teams right now have not been doing too hot here recently. We had a Black team had a very good start in the beginning of their Venom tournament, their league. Uh, they won, I think, 2 or 3. Their first ones, I'm pretty sure it was 3. Then lost multiple after, and it was very breathtaking how bad it just was. Like, yeah, I mean, I hate to talk, like that about them, but they are doing a lot better. They're starting to step up their game. They're actually doing VODs more. They're practicing better communication skills. It's doing a lot better. I actually did just sign them up for a new tournament coming up in the AEL, the Alpha Esports League, and it's first place, I think, 500 payout, second place $100, third place 50, something like that.
Is that a true league format, or is that a best of one?
It's a true. I'm pretty sure it's true league, man. True for the COD side, best of 5 and everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. It's gonna be quite a match. It's a lot of teams that we are used to seeing. So really, I am gonna say that our team has a really good chance at coming top 3 in that, at least. Hopefully, we're shooting for first always, but it's gonna be a match. White. Go ahead.
Yeah. So do you think that maybe, since they haven't been playing in as many tournaments and they've been scrimming a lot and playing a lot of better competition, do you think that has a little bit to play in of why they've been playing better? Because so maybe their confidence has gotten a little lower because the competition has kind of stepped up a little bit, and you think that plays a big part in the kind of the way they've been playing lately?
Yeah, I actually really do. I told them prior to going into this league that they're in, or they were in, the Venom, that I've been in it. I know how the competition is, and it has always, always been, some real hot competition, like super, super good stuff. Same with the NACAL. And I don't know if they just thought it was going to be a breeze or what, man, but these teams were not like anything that we're used to, man. They're not. They're different. Same thing when you go to Twitter and we find some Twitter scrims for our guys. It's a lot different, man. It's different competition. These guys are playing in these leagues. That's their way of trying to make money, man. They want that. It's not like they just go do free stuff and they're just trying to play it out. They want to win. They want that money. So they're grinding constantly to get that money. And our boys just now getting into all this kind of for cash stuff. It's going to be different because they're just, it's a different playing field, I feel like. It's not a free entry tourney just for fun.
It is, for sure. That T2, T3 scene is where things really start to kind of, your goods get separated from your grade. I do want to ask this, though, because I know I saw it a little bit with my Black team, not your Black team. Do you feel like part of this was early success led to false hope, false belief, false confidence, whatever word you want to use, and they're maybe struggling now because they won their first couple games, not just this tournament, but previous tournaments they had some success. And now that they really get, tested, they're like, oh crap, it's not necessarily cakewalk. You got to actually boil down, make mistakes, and learn from it. Do you think that's part of it too?
I do, man. I do. I really do. I feel like if they screw their heads on right and they don't get into their own heads, man, and they need to be able to take their losses.
Right.
They know what they're doing wrong. I've told them. I sat in there with them. I go in there every now and then, and I'll watch VODs and scrims They know what they're doing wrong. So yeah, I do think that them playing and always winning and doing great, and them coming in here, it's just it's something they're not used to. They're
Right.
not.
Yeah, and that's why I asked. Is because you're exactly right. When you have early success, you become accustomed to early success. Not to say that you want to lose every game either, but sometimes the best way to progress is failure. Have tough losses and games that you got to learn from. So,
I've personally always tell people that it is okay to lose. It's not the best feeling in the world, but it is always a good thing. And nobody's perfect. You learn from your mistakes.
I
tell
think
them
you got to do that, right? It's not okay to have a losing culture. What it is it's okay to have a failure because it means you're taking the risk, and when you fail, you have something to learn from it. Now, obviously, the flip side of that is also true. You can't let yourself not learn anything either. So that's the important there.
always. Yep.
What about the other teams? What else we got?
White team, they're back. Their guy had 2 weeks off, and he went over to New York and kind of went on vacation. They dropped their fourth, and so they've been on the search, and I guess they found one, and I put them into the NACAL. Sorry. Whew. Okay, the NACAL qualifier, and that they're doing right now, as a matter of fact, in their main fourth actually did not make it. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm thinking they're about to have to find another one because he is disappeared. So,
Obviously, again, you never know. We hope nothing but for the best for him, obviously. Hope everything's okay.
So, yeah. So, on that note, I was actually talking to one of Black's players, the team we were just talking about. And last week, I went with I'm going to do this pretty much every podcast. I'm going to find a word, and I'm going to say how it really, it's true. And I think last podcast was that's not important. I don't remember what it was. But this week I want to go with the word dependable, because really it's always about having a dependable player. You need your player to make sure they're there on time, make sure they're there early, getting warmed up, make sure your players are doing their roles, doing their part. I noticed a lot that players are checking their scoreboards, and when you check your scoreboard and you see that you're doing bad, I feel like you're going to start playing for personal stats instead of as a team. And that's where mistakes start to become a habit. You're playing for kills and not for the hill time or the rotation or any of that. I mean, it just blows. It doesn't work. And you need to stay focused and as a team. So I'm trying to see if I can get my players to quit looking at that scoreboard as much, because I feel like I said they're trying to play for personal stats, and I feel like that might have a little bit to do with some of the teams as well. But White right now, like I said, they are playing for the qualifier NACAL. They lost their first round. They think they were hackers. It was a little weird, but they're now in the losers bracket, and if they win this next match, they're in the finals of the losers bracket. They will qualify for the NACAL League, so that is really good for them. Hopefully they can find a fourth settled for that. But that's about it with White. Blue team disbanded, so that's some new news.
Yep.
And,
what happened there?
Man, just really with scheduling issues, man. They none of them had
dependability, like you just said.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't dependable enough to like. I have in the server. If you ever take a look at it, I have multiple chats, player schedule, tournament schedules, VOD reviews, score logs, whole bunch of stuff for the teams just to utilize. And they never seem to utilize that player schedule. And that is what messed them up, because if you don't know when your plays are going to be on and you just get on and you're like, hey, who's on? They might not know you're getting on, so they're going to go out, have fun, go party with their friends or their family, do what they do. And really, it's just lack of knowledge of when people are going to be on their time,
right,
when they're playing. So that's on them for not utilizing it. I made sure constantly to throw it in there. I changed their I changed their captain, and that didn't even do anything too good. He got fed up with it and he left. And then they just said, "Screw it, disbanding." Cool. So that's gone. And the red team, they're doing a lot better, man. They found 2 new players, dropped 2, and they're doing a lot better. They still have a lot of work to do in order to go further as a team, but I'm proud of them. They're making steps. I'm proud of all the boys, man. I really am. You know, White not being as active as they are, making it to the end of this qualifier. I mean, that's real good, especially since the losers bracket was a best of 1, and most of NACAL guys are great. Black, mad respect for them. They went in. Every game they go into, they go with their heads high. They come out with their heads high, and that's okay because they're learning to take L's. They're learning how to be better at the game and all that. I mean, it's everybody's doing really well, and I'm proud of them.
So isn't most of Black Team pretty young though? Like your younger kids, like 16, 17, 18?
um, they got their fair share of younger guys. Aspect is the youngest in all of our Onslaught COD. He is 15 years old, and that is like a young little prodigy. I'm pretty sure in the first podcast I talked about him. He's something else, man. If he really focused on this game and he was to put all of his efforts into it, I promise you this kid can go somewhere. I do. I really think he could. He is a nasty young gunning kid, and I'm liking that. Index, I believe he's 18 and 19, so he's up there. He's eligible to go do traveling and doing challengers and whatnot. Murph's 23, 24, something like that. I'm not too sure. Murph's the buddy though. Slicks is 18, 19. Leak is 17, I believe, 16, 17. So really, it's only 2 players that are too young.
Well, I don't know what I'm saying about you. I'm just saying that the growth is different in a younger 16, 17-year-old than I feel like it is in like a 20, 22-year-old. Like in a 20, 22-year-old, they've been playing competitive long enough to understand, hey, it's less about kills and more about getting the W. And in a younger teenager, that I don't feel like they quite understand, hey, my stats really don't matter if I don't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've really not thought about that way. And when I was talking about score tracking and playing for personal stats, really I wasn't talking about Black Teams. I really haven't noticed that they do it, but now that I think about it, they do it, and it is partially coming from the younger players as well. So yeah, I think you're onto something right there about all that. That's a fair point. That's really good. Thank you.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
do.
and that's just, and in my opinion, it just comes from growth, man. Like even I feel like all of our red team is all of our red Valorant team is 16 to 18 years old. They're all really young players. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, I don't know about the new ones for sure, but they're younger in a sense. There, yes.
yeah. So the growth is just different. And the way they understand the game is different, and they haven't been playing competitively as long. So it's different, and I feel like you can definitely see it as you're watching someone who's 20, 22 playing the game, and listening to their comms compared to someone who's 16, 17, 18 years old and listening to their comms. You can tell the difference in the growth of the player, which is super cool. Like in my mind, it's super cool looking at the difference between two, an age gap like that.
Yeah.
I also think some players get it sooner than others too, right? So, you may have a player that is younger in age, but maybe far more, I guess the right word is probably mature or responsible in their role and what the game may be. So that's part of it too. Some players just naturally pick that out, but other players, they have to, for lack of a better term, have to work on it and have to have it beaten into them, so to speak.
Yeah.
There,
They have to
100%.
have that like that what's the word? That experience. Yeah, just experience. They have to have that experience of losing and being on this high horse and winning and winning and winning, in these amateur tournaments, and then getting to
Yep.
the tier 2 and tier 3, tier 3, or tier 2 or tier 1 game teams that are like pros, and then getting beat down and having their ego kind of beat down because
Mm.
they go from being this crazy good player to holy cow, I'm not as good as these people.
Right, and that's also the other piece of it too. Is when that happens, you really test who they are as an individual as well too. Some people have that happen to them, and that's why some people don't always work out on teams. They take it the wrong way. They take it from a toxic standpoint. They, start blaming other people. They take responsibility for what they could have done differently, so on and so forth. And that's the difference between like a good team and a great team. Is a great team has far more individuals on the right hand side of I got to take responsibility for what I did. I didn't make that right call. I missed that shot. We could have done this differently, and so forth. So you definitely get both sides of it. Very interesting to see that sometimes it's not even younger. Just sometimes people get further on in life there, still don't have the experience and still don't have the overall maturity that is that kind of next level.
Yeah, kind of like I was saying before, playing for personal stats. I mean, that's kind of goes along the same guidelines, man. They're not playing for the team. They're trying to do their own things. They're not taking their own responsibility for their actions.
Yep.
They need to be accountable for what they did wrong, and they need to know it. So that's also comes back to VOD review, man. You go back to VOD review, you see what you did wrong, and if you can't even say that you did it wrong, then that's on you. Like
Yep.
that.
Well, I'm sure at some point in time, one of us has watched some type of a professional athlete. What do they always say? If they won, awesome, cool. I don't care about the stats that I had. If they lost, awesome, cool. This is what I could have done differently. Like they're always taking that accountability, and you don't go saying your teammate was like so easy to do the right thing that it makes it difficult.
Let me tell you like what really kind of stands out to me about that whole thing. If they win or lose, even if they're putting up ridiculous score lines, it's like, what could I have done differently? It's that Russell Westbrook, whenever he was on that Thunder team, where everybody was like, oh my God, Russell's so much better than everybody else. It's like Russell against everybody, and he got an interview, and they're talking about like, I think it was Adams, and he was just kind of shutting everybody down, like it's a team game. It's not just me. So I made mistakes just as much as everybody else did. I mean, that's not what he said, but I thought that was super cool, just like listening to something like that in a professional athlete.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sorry, we got off topic in that. That's pretty. But yeah, anything else on the COD side of things?
No, I think I kind of hit all bases. I got talked about the NACAL qualifier. Hopefully they finish that out and qualify, and the AEL Cash League that they got coming out. So yeah, that's about it, man. Hoping these teams start really pulling through and getting their stuff together. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it, man. It's just like a timing thing, like we were just talking about. I think the more, especially black team and white teams, start playing in these higher end tournaments where the better teams are getting put in them, and they're not just scrub teams. They're gonna start understanding. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't peek this angle like this anymore, because if I peek this angle, or if I jump out and do this at this time, or if I make this decision at this time against this type of caliber player, I'm gonna get punished every single time.
100%.
But so I'm gonna go into like the Fortnite. So both of we picked up another Fortnite player. His name is Zen. Rapture played in the FNCS Fortnite Championship Series last weekend. He missed it. He was playing with 3 randoms because we're still working on the team thing, and he's still trying to get as much practice in as he can. He was I'd say 10 points. He said he was 10 points away from making it to the top 500 teams in Fortnite with just randoms. So that's extremely good for a Fortnite player, like taking random people in and just going into with these teams that have been playing together for probably 3 or 4 years now and making it that far in that. The Rogue Company team played in the 10K CMG tournament. They only played in one, because roster issues for the first two, and then the third one they just put a roster together, and someone left 2 days before, so they picked up a random, and they did pretty good. They won the first match. They made it to the top. They made it to the top 16 teams, and got beat and got 1 point and missed the 10K tournament by 1 point as well. So I thought they played pretty well. They 7-0'd both maps on the first game they played, and then got beat. Didn't even take a game off the second team. But the second team was a pro team that had like $13,000 in winnings already. So
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like a little bit of time to grow, obviously. Wasn't
definitely.
actually there, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, I'll tell you what too. I don't play Fortnite personally, but I was talking to your buddy Silk, Soap.
Yeah.
And I know he likes it a lot, and he's been, talking about how bad like this skill. I guess they have skill-based matchmaking now, and I don't know how high of a tier he is, but I mean, I guess the more and more you keep going, the better you're getting. You're playing a lot more better people, people on your level, and I guess it gets tougher. So I mean, for your new players coming in, they're going to be playing, I guess, some pretty good competition if they're on the higher level, and that's something to look for. I mean,
yeah. Rapture is he actually plays with pros on a daily basis. Like if he goes into solo duo or solos by himself, he has like 13,000 arena points, which is pro level. It's like up there with Booga and all of them. So he plays with Booga, Ninja. He plays with all of them all the time in arenas. Like he sends me pictures of him. He sent me a whole video of him 1v1ing Booga. It was fucking crazy. Dude's a beast. I just have to find 3 more
man's
people.
a beast.
Yeah, he's good, dude. He's good. He's really good. I just have to find 2 more people that can kind of compliment him, which we found one. Zen, he said he really likes Zen. Zen's not, Zen's playing on a very low-end computer right now, so he doesn't have the best frames. He has okay ping, but he said the reason he wanted to bring Zen on was because he's a really good shot caller. So that takes the shot calling role or the IGO role off of Rapture and lets him just play. He don't have to worry about trying to make the decisions. He can just frag out on people and drop 13 or 14 kills.
Well, yeah, and that's always a thing too, right? I think of Valorant, shot callers, damn. You never expect him to frag out. The point of the shot caller is that size calls, keep everybody wrapped in, hold 9 yards, strategy. But you trust them at the same time when the time comes for them to be good in what their role is. So shot caller is so important in any lineup, any game, and it really just allows your fraggers, for lack of better terms, to frag. And that's also as well important.
Yeah, and to me, man, that like when you're looking at some of these score lines, people kind of bash on a bunch of the shot callers or IGLs because they're like everybody sees scores. You know what I mean? They're
100%.
They're like
people
5
see
and
scoreboard.
12. Yeah, they're like
What was
5
your
and 12,
splash line?
5 and 11. Yeah. And they're like, why do they have this dude on the team? Like, what is he doing? And they don't understand. Like, this dude is literally sitting here playing chess in a video game.
Yeah, in a video game with split-second decision making.
Yeah.
You think of games like Call of Duty, like literally you just nonstop run. Like literally that's the point of Call of Duty. It's just how fast can you run through the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a high level of mechanics for sure, but the big piece is you got to think of the speed and plays. Games like Fortnite, where all of a sudden you get into a build fight, things are going a million miles an hour. Valorant's not as fast as some of the other games, but the thing that you're playing on Valorant is more of the strategic side of things. You got the smokes, the timers, you got the timers on other abilities coming up. What's up this round for ultimate? What was the gun buy on the enemy team? It comes to play of your and everything else. So all of these games, the skill gap is absolutely crazy. And when you have a good shot caller to complement the rest of the team, like I said, it makes things just easier.
Yeah, IGL, man, it's tough. Like you said, it is like chess. It really is. You have no idea what you're about to be up against. Like Valorant, it's a round-based game. You go round to round. You got to do things differently sometimes. Sometimes you can do the same thing over and over again because it's really working out for you. But they see that, they know that they'll figure something out, a way to counter it.
Yep.
And I mean, it kind of goes the same thing with in COD. I mean, if you can do the same thing over and over again, search and destroy, or set up the same way in hardpoint, but they'll find a way to counter what you're doing, and it will hurt you. So you just really gotta, the IGL's got to figure it out. I mean, it's a big role.
I think the worst part of IGLing is, for me, would be you're trying to play chess, but you don't control the pieces. They have their own mind, and they think for themselves, and they do what they want. And if they don't listen to you, you're trying to play chess with people who do not, don't do the exact thing that you're thinking at the exact time. And
That's back to what I was saying. That's kind of like the playing for personal stats. All right, you've got to play as a team. Your IGL is there for a reason. He is the in-game leader. Listen to him. That is like your in-game captain. That you need to listen to them.
And I know when I speak from experience. Like me and Silk teamed a little while back on Smite, long before OG was ever a thing. And I was a shot caller on that team. Like, I don't know about you, Infinity, if you were shot callers on your team.
I
But
was.
a lot of the time, whether it was Overwatch, whether it was Smite, whether it was Halo, Call of Duty back, going way back there, I was always a shot caller. And I was always the guy. Sometimes you get quiet, sometimes you way too much. Like, you got to find that happy medium in team dynamic, everything. But when you have good, really good chemistry, shot caller, it's an different.
And it's one thing I like about Call of Duty, though. I mean, a lot of times, really in search and destroy is where your IGL is going to come into play. You're going to have the IGL and the rest of the game modes as well, but it really affects in search and destroy. And what I like about it is, especially with our teams, is a lot of times all your teammates have like 2 cents. Like, you know what you're doing, they know what they're doing, so they'll help you. So it's not really just based off of one person.
Yep.
It's they can help you out. A team, anything. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. You have to have everybody buy into the whole concept. It's like a sport. You have to have everybody buy into the concept. Once everybody starts buying into the concept of, okay, this is what this is my job, this is what I do, I don't worry about what this guy's doing. I just make sure my job gets done, and I have to trust that this person beside me is doing his job.
Exactly.
100%.
And
that's just when it starts clicking. When all that starts clicking, you just see a whole new dynamic of the game.
So true. And obviously as well too, when you get the kind of split second chemistry, you know what the other person's doing without knowing what the other person's about to do, right? Like, you know where they're going to go because you played off their tendencies so many times. And obviously IGL is helpful in that situation. Chemistry as a whole gets you, and that's the crazy part when all of that comes together. A lot of people don't appreciate the top level of esports and the top level of any competition. But when you really boil down the small little things that they're doing, the stuff that they spent hours training on.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of people get it, man. They don't think it's worth it, but it is. It's I don't even know how to put it, really. It's not for everybody, I guess you just say. It's
so true. So true.
But it is I love it.
I love watching it, man. Like I said, I think I said this the first or the second one, the last one, man. Watching a team that's in unison play any video game or even any sport is so much fun to watch. It's just so much. It makes the game so much more fun to watch. Watching someone what's the word? Watching someone exquisitely play the game and in perfect cohesion is crazy.
And I think go ahead, Infinity.
I mean, you can go ahead, man. I was
just gonna say, I think that's where some of the stigma that video games isn't skillful comes from, right? So people understand real sports in the sense of, your footballs, your basketballs, et cetera, so on and so forth, as the true kind of unison and the ability of your highest level from your kind of just levels and so forth. There's a real appreciation. People don't understand the time and effort and how much goes esports side of things as well too. You know, a lot of people look at it as, oh, you're moving a mouse, you're moving a thumbstick. There's more that goes into it. Not just anybody can pick it up and be great at it. Definitely true skill level there. And I think that's where some of the appreciation gets lost. Stigma is there because people just haven't done it. It hasn't been around long enough for people to really experience.
Yeah, that's facts. That's true.
But you know, I think it's been on here for like 47 minutes now. I think it's kind of time to wrap this up a little bit. Does anybody have anything else to say? Like, hysteria?
Nah. I think we'll push off the idea that we were wanting to do here, Silk. Let's get Pickle in here for it next. Let's push it off till then.
Oh, I would like to state that I found a website that we can actually get all sorts of Onslaught kind of gear for everybody if they want it. I personally, I bought a glass with our logo on each side of it. It's got the nice Onslaught Gaming logo on, like this one, on one side, and the other side it's got the original OG graffiti.
That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty cool.
And so I actually, I can publish that. I can get that published for us. So we not only can get it, but everybody else that wants it can get it. There's lots of stuff in there. We can start making phone cases, face shields, face masks. I think we already have that though, but there's still lots of other stuff. You know, I'm exploring options, trying to see how everything works with that. So hopefully everybody else can get that as well. But
hey, keep us up to date on that. That'll be interesting to see
it would.
What we're able to kind of get our hands on there.
Yeah. But, so we're gonna wrap this up. Thank you everybody for coming out and joining us. You know, it's always appreciated when y'all come out and get in the chat to talk to us. Maybe later on the future we'll start kind of asking the chat for some kind of questions that y'all want us to kind of answer for y'all as we're going through this podcast more. But we're just
I like that idea. So, real quick, if anyone's got anything, throw it in the chat or throw it on the YouTube video when we post it. So that way we can just kind of look back, see if there's anything we need to talk about. I like that idea a lot. So,
yeah. I mean, right now, if y'all have anything y'all want to ask within the next, 1 or 2 minutes, post it in chat and we'll kind of answer any questions y'all have as a community. That's why we actually did this, was to kind of bring the community closer and kind of show y'all that, hey, we own this, and we're, show y'all everything that's going on behind the scenes rather than everything you're just seeing kind of forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to mention something for the next podcast, what I was referencing to Silk there, you guys probably heard us talk about it last week, or now 2 weeks ago, sorry. We will, at some point, hoping next week, bearing no offsetting things going on, obviously, be able to talk about the true origins of OG. Did a little bit of digging. Pickle originally came up with an idea with Silk back in 2017, so Onslaught has kind of been formulated since then. Obviously, we didn't truly become a true business until this past month, and really put in the time and effort the entire past year, so we say that we established 20. But it was 2019, all the way back in September, that Silk first messaged me about it. So just kind of little updates there. Obviously, we'll talk more about that in the future at some point, give you guys the story. But crazy to think on almost already now for me 2 years, let alone Silk first kind of formulated the idea almost years ago now.
Yeah.
Boom. Another idea has arisen by what you just said. If anybody in the chat wants to know or wants us to talk about any certain topic of anything at all, anything Onslaught Gaming, or anything outside of it either, just post it in the comments.
Politics. I will not talk about politics.
That is true.
Yeah, nobody likes politics and podcasts. I agree with that. I second.
Yeah. No, let's not do that one. But
anything else? Yeah, I agree with him. Anything else? Sports.
You want to hear about something? Yeah, sports. Yep.
Esports games.
The wager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still a firm believer that the Chiefs got cheated in the Super Bowl. But
Facts.
Whatever you
Facts.
say. The GOAT won his 7th, but yeah.
But we're going to hear, boys. Again, YouTube video will be coming out either tomorrow, probably tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. Post your comments, watch the video, and if you have anything you want us to talk about on this podcast live, post a comment in the YouTube video, and we will start keeping track of all the comments, questions that y'all want us to kind of go over, and we'll start going over them live for everybody to kind of talk about. But thanks everybody for coming. Have a nice night.